Welcome back, Forester Dragons. We're here for our last step in making our houses and our pets. So maybe if your house was underwater, you have like a pet octopus or a pet jellyfish. I'm not sure. But here we go. So the way we're going to be coloring today is I want you to use both crayons and washable markers like this. Okay. The washable markers, we're going to try something different with those. But first, I want you to do any small areas like, like your doorknob and the frame around the door. So I'm going to take a crayon to color this frame around the door. It's a smaller area. I'm also going to do the frames around the windows here. And I think I want to use this orange color. So I'm going to do the frame around. Now notice I'm not doing the window itself, just the frame around it. So any small areas, so your frames are important. That's the extra circle. Okay, these are kind of big areas, they're okay. Maybe my pepperonis, yeah? And maybe my crust. I'm going to do maybe my beak and my birds. And maybe my frosting on my donut, right? I think I'll make this white frosting with speckles, like other colors in it. Confetti. Okay. Maybe the rays on my sun too. So remember, we're doing small areas with the crayons, right? Because I'm going to show you what we're going to do in the big areas in just a minute. Okay, I'm also going to do the smoke up here in the chimney. Okay, so you can kind of see I've done the smaller areas. I want to also do that on my pets. So any really small areas, so like on my pig, I'm going to do the little pig nose. Okay. And maybe the ears and the toes. I want the toes to be darker color. Okay. So once I've got those small details, so on my dog, I did the spots. Okay. I think I might do the tail on the piggy too. Okay. Okay. Now I'm ready for the next step. I want to show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to take the markers now, the washable markers, and we're going to just outline. So on my house here, I'm just going to trace the outside line, and I'm going to push hard so I can make a fat line. I don't want a skinny line, so I don't want to draw like this. I want to push hard and make a thick line. So I'm going to trace the outside edge of my house. Oh, I see a window, I forgot. Okay, there we go. I'm going to trace around the windows with that fat line, around the door, on the edge. Okay. If it's a big open area, I might create a couple lines there. So then I'm good on that. I'm going to come over here and do the same on the garage, trace the outline. I'm just tracing. Notice Miss Eskew is not coloring. I'm just tracing. My door. Now I have a bunch of emptiness, so I'm going to put that a little bit more. And then here on the garage, I'm going to do the same thing, tracing all these lines. Remember, you're making fat lines, not skinny lines. Okay, now I'm going to come in here. This is the dog's door, so I'm just tracing the outside, making those lines on the roof. Now your house can have a rainbow roof. It can be any color you want. You don't have to make it the colors Miss Eskew does. Miss Eskew likes lots of colors. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause now, and I'm going to finish doing my buildings, or the whole thing actually. So remember, we're not coloring, we're just outlining. But if you have a lot of empty space like Miss Eskew right here, then you can make some lines across. Okay, and here's the dog's roof. Okay. Okay, you can see how I have now filled in the color on everything. So the next step is I need to add some color to my sky. I don't have a lot of purple. I have some blue, but not a lot of purple. So I'm going to use purple mostly for my sky. So I'm going to kind of trace the outside just like I did in my home. You know, when I was tracing the edges of everything else I colored. I'm just tracing. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and put these lines in your sky, and you can intermix some blue in between. I'm going to show you. The other thing I also did is I did that trace in my pets with the washable marker. Remember, your marker has to be washable. Okay? So I'm tracing everything in my sky. Once I've done all that and I've traced everything, and it doesn't have to be exact. And I could have drawn a tree instead of putting all the things in my sky. But I did do a tree on this one back here. You can kind of see the tree back there. Okay, I'm going to go in and put a little blue. Just a few lines intermixing the blue in between. Just some lines. Where there's big gaps of white. Okay, now the next step is I need a cup of water and a brush. And with that, I'm going to take one section at a time, and I'm going to wet that washable marker. The reason I'm not going to do the whole thing at once is because I don't want to mix all the colors together. So I'm just doing one section at a time. I'm not even going to touch my sky yet. So I did the roof. I'm going to do inside that window. I'm going to come do this roof. Do you see how it's making the marker bleed and spread out? I don't want you, so if I take this black, do I want that in the sky or do I want to keep my sky purple and blue? I want to keep it purple and blue. So I'm not going to touch the other section yet. You also don't want to use too much rubbing because that will make the paper tear. So just water and brush, don't keep rubbing it because you're going to tear the paper if you do. So you're going to do every single section, even your pets. I'm going to pause it and I'll show you mine when I'm done. Okay, so you can see I finished using the water to blend all my marker, and I cut out and use the water to blend on my pets. Now all I have to do is glue my pets on my paper, and then my picture is completely done. So I hope you had fun making your houses and using your shapes and creating balance and patterns. And I will see you again real soon. Okay, bye Forster Dragons. See you later.